Have you noticed how easily distracted we've become lately? You grab your phone to glance at a single notification, and suddenly half an hour slips away as you mindlessly scroll. You settle down to study, yet your thoughts drift in countless directions. You open your laptop intending to work, and somehow you're watching random YouTube clips. If this sounds familiar, it doesn't mean you have ADHD or any kind of disorder. Actually, it's far more common than you'd imagine. We now exist in a world so saturated with stimulation that maintaining focus on one thing feels nearly impossible. There's constantly an alert, a video, a track, some headline demanding our awareness. Our concentration escapes like water, seeping through a cracked container. Yet, splitting our focus wasn't always viewed negatively. Our predecessors had to continuously monitor their surroundings for threats. That scattered awareness kept them alive. Nowadays, though, it's slowly tearing us apart. According to UC Irvine researchers, after just one interruption, it typically requires 23 minutes to fully restore your concentration. 23 minutes. Now calculate that against how many times you fracture your focus. By checking your phone, multitasking, playing music, whatever it might be. But suppose there existed a method to bypass that, to rewire your mind so it blocks out interruptions and dives so profoundly into a task that your environment simply dissolves. That method exists, and it's not some trendy approach from a digital marketing guru. It originates from Japan's Zen monasteries, named Ichigyo-Zammai. Ichigyo-Zammai means dedicating yourself entirely to one activity at a time. It's deeply rooted in Japanese Zen Buddhism. And that's today's topic. Before we dive in, I'd like to acknowledge the newest channel members for their backing. Also, I appreciate every single person liking these videos, leaving comments, and spreading the content. Your involvement means so much to this channel's journey. Truly thank you. Now, drop a comment below and tell me, what's currently your biggest distraction? Your smartphone, social platforms, your thoughts, let me know. Back to it. Chapter 1. Jake's story. At 16, Jake Morrison understood he was falling behind in life's race. He wasn't a terrible student. Far from it. He grasped math, physics, programming easily. The issue: Jake simply couldn't maintain focus. He'd attempt to study. Yet within minutes, he'd be scrolling Instagram. He'd open his calculus textbook and drift into fantasies about working at Google. He'd start an instructional video, pause midway to check a sports score. And Jake did have a dream. A massive, intimidating, nearly impossible one. He aimed to attend MIT, one of Earth's most competitive institutions, where future geniuses are shaped. But Jake faced a major hurdle. His marks weren't anywhere near the requirement. While classmates consistently achieved top scores, Jake lingered in average territory. A C occasionally, a B here and there. Enough to pass, nowhere near MIT material. His buddies loved teasing him about it. Jake, you seriously want software engineering at MIT? You can't even manage a B in math, bro. Might as well prepare for flipping burgers. They found it hilarious. but Jake absorbed every remark like a physical blow. What made it worse was his parents' pressure. Not harshly. They simply wanted him to put in more effort. Jake, you've got ability, but you must stop getting sidetracked. Take this more seriously. And Jake understood that. He knew he possessed ability. The obstacle was accessing it, because whenever he tried to study, his own mind betrayed him. You know that sensation when you've got crucial work, yet your brain prefers constructing future scenarios. Jake invested hours fantasizing. He pictured graduating from MIT. He visualized his inaugural day as a programmer. He imagined his friends apologizing for underestimating him. Meanwhile, the math textbook stayed shut. Physics assignments remained untouched. And his dream hovered far away, unreachable. Then one day, after receiving yet another disappointing calculus score, Jake finally broke down. He was exhausted from mediocrity, exhausted from letting his parents down, exhausted from friends' mockery. But rather than isolating himself and surrendering, Jake chose a different path. He sought guidance. Chapter 2. Consulting the teacher. Next day, Jake approached Mr. Tanaka. Mr. Tanaka taught math at the school. A Japanese man in his 50s, perpetually composed, grounded. His demeanor radiated tranquility. While fellow teachers shouted for classroom control, Mr. Tanaka merely glanced, and silence followed. Jake knocked on the staff room door after classes ended. Mr. Tanaka, could I talk to you a moment? The teacher glanced up, removed his glasses, and motioned him inside. Of course. Jake, have a seat. What's going on? Jake breathed deeply. Sir, I'm lost. I truly want to boost my marks. I aspire to become a software engineer, yet I cannot concentrate. I start studying, and my brain leaps all over. I'm constantly distracted, and my grades stagnate, trapping me in this loop. Mr. Tanaka paused briefly. Then he smiled. Not sympathetically, but with recognition of something familiar. Jake, let me ask you something. While studying, approximately how many tabs remain open on your computer? Jake considered. Maybe 10. And your phone, where is it? Nearby. With notifications active. Do you often study, while simultaneously pondering unrelated matters, like future plans or past events? Jake blinked, surprised. How'd you know? Mr. Tanaka chuckled softly. Because I was exactly that way during my youth. Jake's eyes widened. Really? Honestly? I was raised in Japan, struggled with concentration constantly. My mind endlessly wandered until my grandfather introduced me to something transformative. Jake leaned closer, curious. What was it? The instructor scribbled onto paper and slid it toward Jake. Ichigyo-Zammai. Jake stared, puzzled. Ichigyo-Zammai. Ichigyo-Zammai. It originates from Zen Buddhism. Literally interpreted, it means one-track focus. The discipline of engaging entirely in a single act, merging yourself with the task. Jake furrowed his brow. Like, merely concentrating. It exceeds simple focus. Jake. It's about becoming whatever you're engaged in. When you study mathematics, you aren't Jake doing math. You embody mathematics. No separation exists. No observer stands apart from the activity. You're fully absorbed. Jake remained uncertain. Mr. Tanaka noticed and elaborated. Consider this. Ever started gaming, then realized 3 hours evaporated? Yeah. Happens constantly. Exactly. You entered a flow state. Immersion so deep you lost track of time. Ichigyo-Zammai means learning to purposely access that state, regardless of what you're doing. A shiver went down Jake's spine. This resonated. But is there scientific backing? Mr. Tanaka grinned. Certainly. Neuroscience now labels this mindfulness or flow. Countless studies confirm that practicing focused attention physically alters brain structure. It increases prefrontal cortex density. That's your attention control hub. He opened a drawer, retrieving printed studies. Hare's material merging Ichigyo-Zammai principles with behavioral neuroscience. Take these home, examine them, implement the practices, then report back. Jake accepted the papers, hands slightly trembling. Something within told him everything was about to shift. Thank you, Mr. Tanaka. Truly, thank you. The teacher placed a hand on Jake's shoulder. Jake, you possess the potential. You simply need mastery over your attention. Once that happens, nothing holds you back. Chapter 3. Embracing Ichigyo-Zammai. That night, Jake barely rested. He remained awake, devouring Mr. Tanaka's materials. And with each page, clarity emerged. One article explained neural mechanics, how each interruption, each notification, each context switch forces your brain to expend energy recalibrating. Repeated frequently, you essentially train yourself toward distraction. Another piece described merging the Pomodoro method with Ichigyo-Zammai. Short intervals of intense focus, then conscious breaks of 5 or 10 minutes. No phone usage during pauses. No social media. Just breathing, stretching, hydrating, remaining present. A further piece covered choice architecture, essentially arranging surroundings to eliminate temptations. Phone placed elsewhere, notifications silenced, solitary browser tab, singular task. He realized Ichigyo-Zammai wasn't merely sequential task completion. It demanded absolute immersion into present activity, mind undivided. A total fusion between self and action. Sweeping becomes the act itself. Eating embodies the act alone. Zen monks incorporate this universally, from mundane chores to formal meditation. An old Zen saying encapsulates it: when eating, just eat. When sleeping, just sleep. Seems obvious, yet how frequently do we dine while mentally working, or rest while ruminating over issues? Modern culture glorifies multitasking. Ichigyo-Zammai stands as its polar opposite. Fragmented attention prevents true presence anywhere. Superficiality pervades everything. From that viewpoint, when distractions emerge, and they will, the practitioner simply acknowledges, "My focus drifted," and gently redirects it to current activity. No guilt, no irritation. It's continual re-centering practice. After absorbing this, Jake understood something profound. He wasn't incapable or unmotivated. He'd merely never learned proper attention management. And he resolved that from now on, everything would transform. That Monday, returning home, Jake initiated an unprecedented ritual. He placed his phone inside a drawer elsewhere, disabled all computer notifications, closed every browser tab except his study materials, set a timer for 25 minutes, inhaled deeply 3 times, then began. The initial 5 minutes felt agonizing. His mind screamed, "Check your phone! See if anyone messaged! Open YouTube immediately!" But Jake remembered when distraction surfaces, don't resist, simply observe. Ah, my mind desires wandering. Then gently guide attention back. He repeated this maybe 10 times within the first 25 minutes. Yet by the second interval, interruptions diminished. During the third, he encountered concentration levels previously unknown. When the timer signaled, Jake checked the clock, astonished. 75 minutes had flown by, and he'd accomplished more in 1 hour than typically an entire week. Energy surged through him. Empowerment. For the first time ever, he felt truly in command. Over subsequent days, Jake maintained the ritual. Daily post-school. Phone away, environment set, breathing absolute focus. He extended Ichigyo-Zammai to everything. Meals became eating, focused. No videos alongside. Conversations became fully present moments. Walking to school, he noticed sounds, colors, movements. He realized his entire prior existence had been automatic. Now, he was awake. Friends noticed changes. "Jake, you never hang with us anymore. You okay?" Jake smiled. "Everything's fine. Just prioritizing something important right now." They didn't comprehend, yet Jake didn't mind. For the first time, he actively constructed his desired future, rather than merely envisioning it. Then came the initial math exam post-transformation. Jake sat, scanned questions, entered the zone. Ichigyo-Zammai. He wasn't Jake testing. Mathematics solved itself through him. When the graded test returned, Jake stared, stunned. An A. The highest mark he'd ever earned. Across the room, Mr. Tanaka smiled knowingly. Jake understood. This marked merely the beginning. Chapter 4. From high school to MIT. The subsequent months resembled a turbulent journey. Jake consistently practiced Ichigyo-Zammai daily. Grades steadily climbed. Physics A, Chemistry A, Programming A. His parents were amazed. "Jake, what's happened to you?" "I simply learned to concentrate, Mom." But Jake discovered something deeper. Discipline isn't willpower. It's systems. Crafting surroundings and routines, making failure unlikely. Distraction isn't an enemy. It signals mental fatigue, boredom, or fear. Understanding this, you cooperate with your brain instead of opposing it. Year-end, Jake applied to MIT. Friends continued mocking. "Dude, you've improved. But MIT? That's insane. Know how many geniuses get rejected annually?" Jake simply smiled. "I'm aware, but I'll give my absolute best. The rest lies beyond my control." He applied the same mindset to SAT prep, essays, coding projects, each in its moment, fully attended. Then, 6 months later, an ordinary afternoon brought an email. "Congratulations, you've been accepted to MIT." He reread it 3 times before believing. Then he yelled so loudly his parents rushed in. "I got in! MIT accepted me." His mother wept. His father embraced him tightly. Jake felt profound gratitude, not solely for admission, but for mastering attention. Whoever masters attention masters life. Chapter 5. Beyond MIT. The path continues. MIT acceptance was incredible. But Jake quickly realized mere attendance wasn't enough. Demands, workload, competition were astronomically higher. Yet Jake possessed an edge. While peers struggled with distraction, procrastination, stress, Jake had Ichigyo-Zammai. He preserved his daily study ritual, clean environment, phone absent, 3 breaths, full immersion. Applied the method everywhere. Programming tasks, algorithm courses, collaborations. Professors observed, "Jake, your meticulousness stands out. You never overlook details." Because Jake understood something essential. Talent matters, yet attention equals power. Throughout 4 years, Jake wasn't the most brilliant student, but among the most consistent. Consistency ultimately outperforms scattered brilliance. He graduated with distinction, quickly landing a junior programming role. Jake could have coasted, thinking, "I've arrived. Time to relax." He didn't. He'd learned something crucial. Everything is a process. No finish line exists, only successive steps. Thus he applied Ichigyo-Zammai professionally. Each code line received complete attention. Meetings demanded full presence. Projects absorbed him wholly. Within 2 years, promotion to full stack programmer. 3 years later, senior developer. At 28, team lead. Colleagues asked, "Jake, your secret? How are you so consistent?" Jake consistently replied, "I'm no smarter than you. I simply eliminated distractions and learned presence. One thing at a time. Total focus." Chapter 6. The evidence. But maybe you're thinking, nice narrative. Yet is it genuinely effective, or just motivational fluff? Let's examine facts. Harvard neuroscientists published research indicating regular mindfulness practice. Exactly Ichigyo-Zammai's essence. Increases prefrontal cortex gray matter density. Meaning your brain physically transforms. Planning, impulse regulation, concentration regions strengthen. Stanford researchers demonstrated focused attention practitioners show up to 40% reduction in default mode network activity. That's the wandering mind circuitry engaged during distraction, past-future preoccupation. So Ichigyo-Zammai effectively silences your brain's distraction center. Furthermore, a veteran neuroscientist specializing in neuroplasticity commented, "Human brains adapt remarkably. Training attention consistently isn't merely skill enhancement. It's rewiring neural pathways, creating superhighways where footpaths existed. Every time you redirect wandering focus, you're literally constructing a stronger brain." This isn't mysticism. It's pure neuroscience. Combining Pomodoro with Ichigyo-Zammai benefits programmers, writers universally. Because it functions. Removing environmental distractions, working in focused intervals. Repeatedly redirecting attention constitutes mental exercise. Just as muscles strengthen lifting weights, attention strengthens through training. Here's Ichigyo-Zammai's most astonishing aspect. It transcends productivity. It's not merely accomplishing more faster. It's authentic living. Consider, how often have you consumed entire meals without recalling flavors? Watched movies while scrolling simultaneously? Engaged loved ones while mentally elsewhere? We operate automatically, letting existence slip past while distracted. Ichigyo-Zammai awakens you. Mastering presence improves not only work, but life itself. Food tastes fuller. Conversations deepen. Experiences intensify. It's akin to exiting the simulation, glimpsing reality anew. And here's something surprising. Mindfulness practitioners report significantly elevated happiness and life satisfaction. Why? Because joy doesn't derive from accumulating possessions. It stems from presence with what's already yours. Jake discovered this, transforming everything. So where's Jake currently? Still at that company, still team lead. More importantly, he's wholly distinct from that 16-year-old unable to focus 5 minutes. Jake now teaches Ichigyo-Zammai to teammates, witnessing identical outcomes. Previously average individuals now produce exceptional results. Stress-ridden people now possess mental clarity. Understand, Jake isn't unique. No extraordinarily high IQ, no affluent background, no connections. He simply mastered one thing most never learned: directing attention. Here's the unspoken truth. Success doesn't emerge from extra time. It emerges from better utilization of existing time. Not from additional resources, but concentrated use of current resources. Not from heightened intelligence, but heightened presence. Because ultimately, your life comprises moments. If absent during those moments, you're not truly living, merely observing. If this video connected with you, consider subscribing to catch future content. Also explore other videos here. They might assist you too. Remember, one thing at a time, undivided attention. That's how you transform everything. Be present. Walk with honor. Follow the path. See you next time.